From KUMV, TV8 Williston, the area's news leader, this is the Night Report. With Kerry Paulson, Jerry Bartz, John Cole, and the regional news with Chuck Bartholomay and Joyce Wallace.
For now, the State Unemployment Trust Fund is a little less in the red.
Thanks to a financial bailout from the State Emergency Commission, the trust fund will be able to pay back the interest on a federal loan. However, the troubles for the trust fund are not over with. More on that from Stephanie Harrington.
Job Service North Dakota faced losing $30,000 a day in federal administrative funding if it didn't meet next Tuesday's interest payment deadline. The last hope was a grant from the State Emergency Fund. One Emergency Commission member was reluctant, however, to let that money go with no chance of repayment.
Is it possible to approve this and make it subject to repayment to the...
So for them to accumulate enough to pay this back would be almost an impossibility. So
Job Service couldn't repay the $161,000 to the emergency fund even if it wanted to. Governor George Sinner says legislators inadvertently removed any borrowing power from Job Service last session, an error that officials promise will be restored in the 1987 session. Today's Emergency Commission grant is a temporary quick fix of sorts because the $6 million federal loan still has to be paid somehow. Right now, the only option appears to be raising taxes levied on employers.
You get yourself in a real catch-22 where if you raise the rates too high, you produce an impediment to economic recovery. At the same time, if you reduce benefits too low, the societal damages are extensive in the towns and cities that have extensive layoffs because of reasons well beyond their own employers or employees.
But even raising employment taxes cannot legally begin until December 1st of this year. In the meantime, interest on the federal loan begins mounting again. Stephanie Harrington, Meyer Television News.
The North Dakota National Guard had some of the sharpest shots in the country. In fact, the North Dakota team earned first-place honors in this year's national shooting competition. Sergeant Jeffrey Schneider and two junior shooters, Dory Eckroth and Brad Stork, both of Mandan, won the national championship by beating 25 other teams. The state coordinator for the Guard says trophies aren't the focus, however.
They team up with members of junior shooting clubs in the area, and then they have shoulder-to-shoulder competition, which improves morale, improves National Guard readiness when the Guard shooters improve their marksmanship.
And all North Dakotans won 11 national honors at this year's competition.
Another roundup was held in western North Dakota this week. However, this one is not an annual event. More from Scott Charleston.
Buffalo have grazed nomadically throughout the upper Great Plains for centuries. But their numbers, once counted in the millions, dwindled to near extinction in Teddy Roosevelt's time. So it's fitting that this refuge for buffalo and other protected animals be named for the man who sought to save them. However, every few years, a roundup is planned because part of the efforts to sustain the buffalo include controlling the size and health of the herd.
We'll do some aging and weighing and ear tagging so that in the future, the ones that stay in the park, we can tell how they kind of get along, whether they increase in size, you know, how long they live and all that kind of stuff.
With the aid of several horsemen, 2 helicopters keep them moving. Some of these buffalo will travel 10 miles or more in 2 to 3 hours. Joe Kuntz found out what it's like to be on horseback next to these giants.
It was a thrill, believe me. When you got the buffalo turnaround coming at you, you move.
Was there a few scary moments?
Well, not really scary, but thrilling, you know. You're out there riding and you got the whole herd going one direction, and next thing you know, they all just turn around and come right back at you.
Buffalo usually have a strong instinct to herd together, which makes them quicker and easier to round up than wild horses. From here, 125 selected cows and bulls will be sent to Indian reservations in North and South Dakota to help develop new herds. From the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, Scott Charleston, Meyer Television News.
And still to come, the new Chief Justice to the Supreme Court was sworn in today.
If you've got 2 minutes, you can make micro magic. French fries that are made to be microwaved. So they come out golden brown with real deep fried taste that's downright delicious. For a quick fix and snack, or a meal in minutes, Reach for Micro Magic, handy single servings, or the box that's big enough to share. Micro Magic is made to be microwaved anytime.
Behind the Blue Cross Blue Shield Caring Card are specialists who design health and life coverage to fit individual needs. Professionals like Rick Visna in our Minot office. From HMO coverage to North Dakota's #1 Medicare supplement, talk to Rick Visna.
Come to us.
For individual coverage.
Caring is Blue Cross Blue Shield. Carry the caring card. The clearance at your Chrysler Plymouth store sends our new cars right out the door. Out we go. Out we go. Everything goes.
Get up to $1,500 cash back or 2.4% financing on selected new models at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Plus the 550 protection plan and a great clearance deal.
Everything goes. Everything goes.
OK Implement Company, Watford City, and Crosby Motors Incorporated, Crosby.
This year, vote with your children.
And your parents. And your sisters. And your friends.
And make it count more.
Vote with a friend and make it count more.
As expected, President Reagan has vetoed the bill that would impose sanctions against South Africa. The president said the measure would seriously impede the prospects for a peaceful end to South Africa's problems. Both the House and Senate say they have enough votes to override the veto.
The U.S. Supreme Court has 2 new members this evening. Swearing-in ceremonies took place at the White House for Chief Justice William Rehnquist and a new associate judge. More from Carl Stern.
Rehnquist and Scalia, who are friends who take part in a monthly poker game in Washington, celebrated along with their families outside the Supreme Court. Earlier at the White House, Rehnquist was sworn in by retiring Chief Justice Berger.
I, William H. Rehnquist, do solemnly swear.
Berger also administered the oath to Scalia.
My congratulations.
Both thanked the president for appointing them and said they expected to be on the court for a long time to come.
Mr. President, I am grateful beyond measure to you for affording me the opportunity to serve the court and to serve my country as Chief Justice of the United States.
I have come to know in one way or another all of the current justices on the Supreme Court. I have an enormous respect for that institution, and I have an enormous personal regard for each of them. I look forward to working with them in our common enterprise for many years to come.
Actually, Scalia moved into the court several days ago to prepare for next week's conference on more than 1,100 cases that came in during the summer. Rehnquist will run the private meetings. Together, the two of them will have a chance to try to get the conservative majority on the court to pull together, something it did not do during the Berger years. The president needs at least one more appointment for the court to be consistently conservative. Carl Stern, NBC News, Washington.
Federal drug officials made several arrests today, mostly employees of Eastern Airlines. 22 Eastern employees were arrested this afternoon. Most of those were baggage handlers and some of their supervisors. The group is charged with transporting over 60,000 pounds of cocaine over the last 4 years into the U.S. According to the federal indictments handed down, the smugglers used Eastern 727 jets operating between Columbia and Miami. And Jerry will have the weather in just a moment.
I'm going to vote for Andrews.
I want Andrews. I would vote for Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, he's a man for the farmer.
Being a farmer, I feel that's important for North Dakota.
He understands it from the bottom to the top because he was born and raised on the farm.
Born and raised a farmer, so I guess he should know our troubles.
I'd say times are tough when we need the experience.
Andrews.
Andrews. I've liked Andrews so well for so many years. He works for the farmer.
What's up for the weekend?
Well, it's not going to be an awful weekend, but it's not going to be quite as nice as it was today. If we take a
But
look
better
at
than the other day.
Better than a few days ago, that's for sure. If we take a look at our view from above this morning, started out with a few light clouds, but most of those clouds cleared away. Lots of sunshine during the afternoon, though tonight you can see more clouds are sneaking in from the southwest. Now, partly cloudy skies tonight, but tomorrow you'll see partly sunny skies as these clouds continue to move in. So not as much sunshine as we saw today, and also low pressure sitting to the north of us makes a little unstable air conditions. We may see a few scattered showers tonight and some scattered showers tomorrow. Temperatures tonight could get very cool, particularly in the northwestern corner of the state, where they may dip below the 40-degree mark. There could be frost possible in the northwestern corner in low-lying areas. Now, heavy rains that have been falling in Montana have caused the Milk River to start to flood. That will also have an effect for the northwestern corner of the state, and the Missouri and the Yellowstone rivers. They may rise very rapidly over the next day or so. So if you live along the rivers, low areas, why don't you keep your eye out to the height of the river? You may have a little bit of flooding over the weekend as well. Elsewhere in the country, heavy thunderstorms going on right in the middle of the country with large hail in portions of Oklahoma and also in Missouri. Thunderstorms continue throughout portions of Kansas and Indiana as well. Now, temperatures across the country today, well, we're really hot down in Texas. 100 degrees at Laredo was the warmest spot in the nation today, but there are also a dozen and a half record highs scattered about the eastern third of the country. The closest to us was 88 degrees in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In our area, temperatures were mostly in the 60s and 70s. Williston 66, Dickinson 67, Minot 69, Bismarck had 71. For tomorrow, a few more clouds will be moving in, so not as pretty of a day as it was today. Temperatures will also be just a wee bit cooler. Our low pressure is still sitting up to the north of us. We may get a chance of showers. It's about a 20% chance of showers tomorrow, a 20 to 30% chance of showers on Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow, a few degrees cooler than it was today, will be around the mid-60s, then a little bit cooler yet on Sunday. Now the forecast for eastern Montana, partly cloudy tonight, partly cloudy and cool tomorrow with a slight chance of some showers. Mostly cloudy and cooler Sunday with some scattered showers. Lows tonight 40 to 43, the highs tomorrow 62 to 65. A bit cooler Sunday 59 to 62. For South Dakota, increasing cloudiness and cool tonight, a 20% chance of showers. Partly cloudy and mild tomorrow with isolated showers. Cloudy and a bit cooler Sunday with a 20% chance of showers. Lows 40 to 45, the highs tomorrow 68 to 73. Sunday's highs 65 to 70. In North Dakota, partly cloudy and cool tonight with some isolated showers. Frost could be possible in low areas in the northwest. Partly sunny and a bit cooler tomorrow with a 20% chance of afternoon and evening showers. Partly cloudy, a bit cooler Sunday with a chance of showers. Lows 39 to 44, the highs tomorrow 62 to 67, and just a couple of degrees cooler on Sunday. Your current conditions are next.
Farmers, Mort Soil Service can provide you with lower fertilizer prices in the fall, and that means increased profits next year. Mort Soil Service can test your soil and evaluate your fertilizer needs. They then apply it with the latest in equipment. Fertilize now before a wet spring prevents you from getting into your fields. Beat the spring rush by fertilizing in the fall. For your soil testing and fall chemical needs, call Mort Soil Service at 572-8354 in Williston today.
You look at the University of Mary, look carefully from all angles, and you'll see why 94.9% of all of our students are employed after graduation. You will see a university with one teacher for every 15 students, a university with 19 majors of study, career explorations, and internship programs. Look carefully from all angles and experience the leadership and success of the University of Mary students and graduates. The University of Mary, North Dakota's brightest, newest university.
It's Anderson's Fall First Showing Saturday, September 27th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at La Silhouette in Williston. Come in now. You'll find raccoon and fox jackets only $4.99. Fox and mink coats $9.99, and many, many more, all special priced. One day only, Saturday, September 27th until 4 p.m. La Silhouette in Williston. Fashion, quality, value, and service. Anderson State Fur, Bismarck, Minot, and Fargo.
Hi, this is Russ out at Williston Satellite TV, and this week you're never going to see better deals. We've got 3D scramblers with each qualifying system and 1-year subscription to the movie channels. We have the most experienced service department, and we guarantee service after the sale. This is the week to save at Williston Satellite TV, Highway 2 North and Fairgrounds Road in Williston. We are Northwestern North Dakota's only authorized MACOM dealer.
Let Williston Sydney Satellite do it now. What are you waiting for?
Skies are clear over the Williston area. The temperature 49 with winds calm, humidity 80%, a rising barometer. Overnight low was 40, the record low 20. High today was 66, the record high 92, set in 1983. No precipitation. Sunrise at 7:47 tomorrow, sunset tomorrow night at 7:43. The forecast, partly cloudy and cool tonight. There's a chance of some frost in low areas tonight. Partly sunny, a little cooler during the day tomorrow with a 20% chance of some evening showers. Partly cloudy and cool Sunday with a 20% chance of some showers. Winds will be light tonight, out of the west 5 to 10 tomorrow. Low tonight 39 or even cooler. The high tomorrow 64. Sunday a wee bit cooler, 62. The extended forecast Monday through Wednesday, temperatures about normal. A chance of some showers on Wednesday. Lows will be in the 40s and highs will be in the 60s.
Good evening, I'm Kerry Paulson. In tonight's news, the National Weather Service says people living in low-lying sections in the East Bottoms area near Trenton and near the Yellowstone River at Fairview should be alert for rising water levels as floodwaters from the swollen Milk River in Montana head downstream. The Missouri River could rise above flood stage at Williston late Sunday or Monday. Montana Governor Ted Schwinden called out the National Guard today to help with sandbagging along the Milk River in northeastern Montana. Torrential rains yesterday have led to the worst flooding in 30 years along the Milk River, and the flooding appears to be getting worse. Hundreds of residents of the community of Saco are preparing for an onslaught of water that a federal hydrologist says could wipe out the town. The National Weather Service predicts the massive flooding throughout the Milk River drainage all the way past Glasgow will continue into next week, and is warning people in Saco and farther east at Hinsdale to brace themselves for the worst. Well, this Sunday at 2 p.m., groundbreaking ceremonies for the beginning of the reconstruction of Fort Union will be held. Dignitaries from Montana and North Dakota will be on hand for the event. The reconstruction begins after a summer-long archaeological dig at the fort. As Wynn Larson reports, workers at the site are trying to make up for lost time due to rain the last 2 weeks.
The archaeological dig at Fort Union will soon be winding down for the season. Overall, the dig has gone well, but archaeologists have had a rough time trying to do their work lately because of all the rain, and that could mean not finishing what they intended to before construction of the bourgeois house begins. 2 projects have been heavily damaged by the rain. One project was the basement, in which the floorboarding work was being exposed. However, the last 3 rains have put a halt to that.
The other one is an area which I've been calling Feature 18. That was the area where the burial was way up high. And we're down over 12 feet into that, and it's still going. Unfortunately, the rain has prevented us from going to the bottom of it, and we may not get there this year. So if we don't get it done this year, we won't get it done at all. We'll just fill it in.
The possibility of rain this weekend, however, has not put a damper on this Sunday's official groundbreaking ceremonies for the construction of the bourgeois house.
We're going to break ground. A good program is planned. We've got preliminary entertainment beginning at 1 o'clock. We have 2 high school bands. The Bainville School Band is here, and the Williston Senior High